The Bay Diggers go into this game with a 2-2 record. Weld Central at 5-4, and we're going to be starting about 10 minutes late. Just not very well prepared here at Jocelyn Needham Field, and quite frankly, it was not indicative of a professional setting, as just things were not ready to go by game time. But here we are, and we'll set the lineup here for the Weld Central Rebels, playing their 10th game of the season, with the Bay Diggers sitting at 4-4. Batting first is the left fielder Allison Landers. The center fielder Bailey Park hits second. Brielle Banji, the second baseman, hits third. Kayla Kitzman, the shortstop, is the cleanup hitter. Anastasia Hernandez, the pitcher, hits fifth. First baseman Leah Rupel hits sixth. Jordan Cifuentes, the third baseman, hits seventh. Batting eighth is Tessa Abear, who's playing in right, and the catcher bats ninth, and that is Jaden Cifuentes. For the Bay Diggers, Avery Lefevre is the pitcher today. And we will set that up here momentarily for the rest of the Bay Diggers. Tegan Haluska at first. The second baseman is Reese Lambert. Alicia Hernandez at third. Brisa Aguirre Garcia at short. And the pitch squaring to bunt is a strike to the left-handed hitting Allison Landers. Opening pitch brought to you by Buildings by Design, the very best in the business. Visit buildingsbydesign.com. Swing and a miss on a heater away. It's 0-2. Karime Castillo's in left. Angelique Schrum is in center. Molly Wolf in right. Brianna Ludgate is behind the plate. The Bay Diggers in their home golds with the black pants and Weld Central black pants and the red jerseys. And the 0-2 pitch up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, Weld Central has been busy with all the games they played already in 2023. And the offering upstairs. 2-2 to Allison Landers. Left-handed hitter. This is righty against lefty. And the pitch down and away, 3-2. Bay Diggers still trying to settle in defensively and in the circle. Landers hitting .360, solid hitter so far. And the 3-2 pitch, and that bounces in. That'll send up Bailey Park. Park hitting .500. They're hitting .462 as a team. They got the season off on a positive note, 13-11 over Lyman. And then Weld Central was blasted 3 games in a row, the pitch. And that is a strike up in the zone. 12-2 to Lamar, 12-2 to La Junta, 15-5 to Delta. Then beat Fort Lupton, Florence twice, and Skyview before Bertha defeated them last Thursday, 11-3. Righty against righty, the pitch. And that one is bounced right back to the circle. And the throw to second is off the glove of Aguirre Garcia into center. And now the throw to third, the tag. And, well, do we have a ruling by the umpire? Should be out at third. But let's see what happened, because the umpire put his hands up like it was a dead ball. I'm not sure what happened there. Was there interference somewhere in the field of play? I think there was some sort of interference, and that might be against Brush, placing runners at first and second. I'm not sure if that was a catcher's interference when the ball was put in play. I have no idea. And maybe even before the ball was put in play. It's got to be a catcher's obstruction, because he went dead with that immediately. Here's Brielle Banji, another right-handed hitter. And that one bounces in. Ball gets away, but not far enough to advance either of the runners. 1 ball and no strikes. Brielle Banji, a right-handed hitter for Weld Central. This was the game last year. Bay Diggers trailed big and came back and won. That got their season off to a big start. It wasn't the first game, but they established a winning streak after that. And that is taken for a ball down and in. Well, no, I think he signaled a strike, but you got to put up the I didn't see any mechanic there because the scoreboard says 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, let's not make this an adventure. Make it definitive. Ball or strike, that's all we want. The offering. Looks pretty good from here, but it's down and in. 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to the right-handed hitting Brielle Banshee. Just underway. Not a good start for Brush. The offering. Swung on and lifted in the infield. Caught by the second baseman. Lambert, or did she drop that? Because then the ball deflected towards the shortstop. Aguirre Garcia, yeah, it must have been caught. 1 down. But Brush does not look overly sharp. The ball was on the ground, and maybe she was trying to flip the ball with her glove, so the batter is called out. Yeah, Brush looks like they haven't played in a while, which is the truth. It's been 8 days since they lost to Berthoud. 14-0 the pitch. Up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to the right-handed hitter for Weld Central, Kayla Kitzman. Big, strong hitter. Lefevre to the plate. Swung on line, foul. Early swing. Up the left side, 1 ball and 1 strike. Kitzman hitting .429. Start time of this game was .410. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. Lefevre ready. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded to third. Off the glove of Alicia Hernandez into left field. And then the ball gets by the left fielder, Castillo. She picks it up. Now the throw to second. And that ball gets away. And it's down into right field. That's going to advance the hitter all the way to third. 2 errors on the play for Brush. And the score is 2-0. That was not good. So 2 errors on that play. Here's Anastasia Hernandez. Infield is in. The pitch. That is a ball below the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. There is 1 out in the inning, and even that was not the cleanest out. Weld Central with a 2-0 lead. The offering squaring to bunt and lays it, nope, into the glove. 1 ball, 1 strike, missed it completely. On deck is Leah Ruppel. Bee-Diggers have got to pick up their level of play. I mentioned they were shut out by Berthoud at 14-0, and they're off to a rough start here. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nice changeup thrown there by Lefevre. And it goes both ways. Pitcher has to help out their fielders with some pace and rhythm, and vice versa. Lefevre had 2 strikes on the first hitter, then threw 4 consecutive balls, and then the defense let her down, so it's gone both ways. And the pitch, that is inside off the glove of Ludgate, and to the plate. The throw will be late, and sliding in safely and making it 3-0 is Kitzman. That'll be scored a passed ball. Meanwhile, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Anastasia Hernandez. Borrow locally from people you know. Equitable Savings and Loan. They've been providing personal bankers to help you through all the steps. Equitable-savings.com. Down and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lefevre, 19 pitches deep. I had that at 3-2. Why is Hernandez running to first? Three balls, 2 strikes. I don't have a feeling we're going to have some clean softball today. The offering swung on. That's driven foul off to the right. Remains at 3-2. Lefevre's already walked one in the first. And the pitch. That's up and away. So far, we don't have a single base hit. The Bead Diggers have committed 3 errors. We've had a pass ball, a couple of walks. And this will bring up Leah Rupel. Another right-handed hitter. Rupel with a batting average of .542. That's not even number 1 on the team. Hernandez, who just got a courtesy runner for her, hitting .607. Avery delivers, and that is a little bit high, but called a strike. Top of the zone, right at the letters on that rise ball. Very effective rise ball. No balls and 1 strike. The senior. For Brush. To the plate. Swung on line. Foul up the third base side. Yeah, anytime you have 2 returning starters, which the Bead Diggers do, it almost makes you feel like, man, you've got to do a lot. But that shouldn't be the case. Yeah, I believe that second hitter was ruled a catcher's obstruction, which is scored an error. That's why the Bead Diggers have 3. They had 2 on 1 play. No balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. That is what Lefevre is capable of. Just looking for that consistency, striking out Leah Rupel on 3 pitches, 2 down. That's what Brush is yearning for, just yearning for. And the offering, and that one bounces in. 1 ball and no strikes to the right-handed hitting Jordan Cifuentes. With a runner at first, 3-0 Weld Central. And the pitch swung on and bounced inside the third baseline towards the corner. Castillo chasing it down, but holding up at second is Hernandez, this courtesy runner. Couldn't get the number over there. And I think we got it now. First hit of the game. But it took several batters and 3 runs across for that to happen. Allie Weber is the courtesy runner for Weld Central. Well, I've got Tessa Abears batting, but this one's wearing 21. It's bunted out in front of the plate, picked up by Lefevre, and she'll throw to first, and that one is going to be late. It's a base hit. Now we have to see who was actually hitting there. Let's see who was actually hitting there for Weld Central. But the bases are loaded. This should be Jaden Cifuentes. The pitch. Looks like that's a strike, but there you go. Wow, that call took forever. No balls and 1 strike. Oh, my gosh. This is going to be a long game in more ways than one. Righty against righty, 9th hitter here. Swung on, line into right field for a base hit. Weber's going to score. Jordan Cifuentes around third towards the plate. The throw skips in, and now the hitter to second. The throw there is going to be late. And it's 5-0 Weld Central. On Jaden Cifuentes, his 2-run single. Holy mahungas, the Bead Diggers in a significant hole with runners at second and third. Back to the top of the order. Swung on and chopped foul behind the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Allison Landers got it started by walking, and then she was able to score on a couple of errors on 1 play. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch, swing, and a foul tip. 0-2. Brush did not expect this in a 5-0 hole in the top of the first inning with 2 hits, and that's it. Lefevre has a strikeout in this inning on 3 pitches, looking to do it again. The offering swung on line foul on a late swing up the third base side. No balls and 2 strikes, and Avery's strike-to-ball ratio is not bad. 21 strikes, 12 balls. The issue is leadoff walks will always hurt. They'll kill you every time, and that's what happened in the first inning. But everything else has been the defense is doing for the most part. The pitch swung on and grounded to second. To her right as Lambert. Throw to first is in time. And the side is finally retired. Not before a mess. 5 runs on 3 hits. 3 errors and 2 left. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Weld Central 5, and the Beat Diggers are coming up on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Beat Diggers starting lineup brought to you by B&B Appliance. With over 30 years of experience, B&B Appliance can help match the appliances to your needs at 502 Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. Brush in a 5-0 hole. Batting first is the pitcher Avery Lefevre. Reese Lambert, the second baseman, at second. Batting third is the shortstop Brisa Aguirre Garcia. The cleanup hitter is the third baseman Alicia Hernandez. Batting fifth is the catcher Brianna Ludgate. Tegan Haluska, the first baseman, at sixth. Left fielder Karime Castillo bats seventh. Batting eighth is the center fielder Angelique Schrum. And the right fielder Molly Wolf is batting ninth. At first base is Leah Rupel for Weld Central. Riel Banji at second. Jordan Cifuentes over at third. The shortstop is Kayla Kitzman. In left field is Allison Landers. Bailey Park in center. Tessa Abears in right. Jaden Cifuentes behind the plate. Anastasia Hernandez is in the circle. Here's Avery Lefevre. And that pitch rides inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to the opposing pitcher, who battled in the first inning, but 3 errors behind her. The pitch swung on and chopped to second. Should be a routine hop. Throw to first, though. It was botched, and then the ball gets away. And that's going to be an error on Banji. Didn't field it cleanly, allowing Lefevre to reach in a routine grounder. Here is Reese Lambert. The pitch, swing, and a foul tip into the glove. Took something off it, did the right-hander Hernandez. No balls and 1 strike. Beat Diggers hitting .329 as the team fouled back on a pitch up in the zone. Going in, Lefevre batting .333, and now Reese Lambert's hitting .500. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch bounces to the plate. Lefevre off of first. She'll get back. It is 1-2. Beat Diggers have to turn things around quickly for the rest of this game, and then Thursday at Strasburg. The offering, swing and a miss. That pitch was nowhere close to the strike zone. Eye level. Lambert goes down swinging, 1 out. That'll send up Brisa Aguirre Garcia. Your RBI leader. That pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Does Brush ever need her to produce this season like she did a year ago? And the offering. Up and in. Lefevre to second. No throw. Easy stolen base. 2 balls and no strikes to the junior, Brisa Aguirre Garcia. Hernandez delivers. And a check swing. And that's going to be a foul. She did make contact with that. Yeah, she wants to stay off of that pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. The offering. Upstairs. 3-1. It's that rise ball, and they want Brisa to swing at the rise ball. She's not going to have any of it. She did on the 2-0, but now she's ready for it. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the offering. Outside. It's a walk. And the Beat Diggers with runners at first and second. I think this is going to be a game of whoever makes the least mistakes, because the Beat Diggers made a ton of them in the top of the first, and now Weld Central doing some of that in the bottom half. The third baseman, Hernandez, committed an error, trying to atone for that, hitting .333. And like the sport of baseball, when the game goes fast, that means it's a quality game. For this to be a quality game, these teams are going to have to really pick up their level of play after this first inning. Because we have played almost 20 minutes and 4 outs have been recorded. And Weld Central leads 5-0. Two walks by Lefevre, one here by Hernandez. Weld Central capitalized the pitch. And that is a strike on the inside corner at the knees. No balls and 1 strike to the third baseman, Alicia Hernandez. And the offering. That is right there, inside corner, belt high. It's 0-2, both on the corner. You got to pull those pitches. Very impressive from one Hernandez to the other. And the offering. Swung on and lifted down the right field line. That is drifting into foul territory along the line. The catch is made by Hebert. Tagging up to third is Lefevre. The throw is off the glove of Cifuentes. Lefevre to the plate. She will score. That'll be another error as an out is recorded, 5-1. And that error on the third baseman, Cifuentes. That's a perfect throw. Lefevre would have been in there easily. But you got to make that catch if you're Cifuentes. 2 errors by Weld Central in the inning. And now here is Brianna Ludgate hitting .250. And Weld Central has less of an excuse than Brush. This is their 10th game. Swing and a miss. Excellent pitch by Anastasia Hernandez, 0-1. She has thrown half the pitches that Lefevre did in the top of the first. Swing and a miss. Took something off it on the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Digging back in. The offering bounces to the plate. 1-2. Here to Brianna Ludgate. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That one was above the letters. Beediger struck out twice in that inning on pitches that were not strikes. 1 run on no hits, 2 errors, and 1 left, 1 complete. Weld Central 5, Brush 1 in Brush. As you are listening to Brush Beediger Softball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back in Brush, a very adventurous first inning and really sloppy. 5 errors combined. The Beediggers with 3 of them, Weld Central with 2. Weld Central with 3 hits in the first, and the Beediggers trail 5-1. And here is Bailey Park. Reached on an interference play, her first time up. Batting from the left side. Squaring to bunt, and it bounces to the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Despite the 2 walks in the first inning, Lefevre had 22 strikes against 12 balls. But she's going to be halfway to 100 by the time this inning is over. Avery looks in. And the offering. That's off the plate. 2-0. Park, Banji, and Kitzman in the visiting second inning for Weld Central. The pitch. That is bunted and caught. It was a line drive bunt. Unless she took a little half swing, but it was caught. A basket catch by Lefevre around knee level, 1 down. Nice defensive play. She was ready for that. Great reflexes. And that'll send up Brielle Banji. Banji popped to second her first time up. Avery Lefevre to the plate. That's a beautiful pitch down the middle for a strike. Let's keep it going right there. No balls and 1 strike. Weld Central 5, Brush 1, top half of the second. Ludgate lays down the sign, just basic softball. The pitch, up and in. 1-1. Lefevre was a very, very solid position player a year ago, still is, but they need her to pitch. And she bounces that to the plate, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out, bases empty. Lefevre looking for strike 2. Not on that pitch, bounces to the screen. 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, we could have some long games this year of pitching on both sides. And some of these games, it's going to be both sides. Already 3 walks combined in the first inning. And the 3-1. Nope, not even close. Way upstairs. And Banji reaches for Kayla Kitzman. A board on a miscue that resulted in 2 runs. Awaiting the pitch is Kitzman. And here it is. Swung on and grounded along the third base side, foul. No balls and 1 strike. I'm surprised she swung at that pitch. Not because it was low, but because you have just walked a hitter. I don't know. I think the philosophy is you just walk a hitter unless it's down the middle, and maybe not even then do you swing. Make them throw strikes. 0-1. Swung on and lifted foul, not a play off to the right. The one thing that Avery's battling is just trying to get that same feel, pitch after pitch after pitch. Can look so good, and the first batter is emblematic of the game so far. First 2 pitches were strikes, the next 4 were balls. Ahead to Kayla Kitzman, 0-2. She does have a 3-pitch strikeout in the game, the offering. And that one sails way over the catcher, Ludgate. The wild pitch will send Banji to second. One ball and 2 strikes. A 4-run lead for Weld Central in the top of the second inning. Again, Ludgate laying down the sign. The pitch, that again bounces to the plate. Yeah, you want to miss high. You never want to miss low, because when you start missing low, especially that's the lowest, there's no shot. A hitter's not going to swing at a pitch that bounces in, but they could swing at a rise ball. 2-2, here it is. Swing and a miss. Well, that was in the dirt. Runner to third and safe. And now they got to throw through to first. Nope, batter called out. But that was in the dirt. I'm surprised. Again, Kitzman swung at that one. Second strikeout for Lefevre, 2 down. Anastasia Hernandez walked, and her courtesy runner, Allie Weber, scored. Lefevre to the dish. That's a strike on the outside corner. Belt high, 0-1. Hernandez awaiting the pitch. And here it is. Again, scooped up on a bounce by Ludgate. That's probably around 6 or 7 pitches that have not reached the plate, including the strikeout of the previous hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 2 down. Righty against righty. And the offering. Swung on and lifted into shallow right field. That's a base hit. Hernandez will drive in Brielle Banji. 6-1. Weld Central. Here's Leah Ruppel. Struck out swinging her first time up. Weber, the courtesy runner again for Weld Central. Did a nice job going the other way. Did Hernandez. Lefevre ready. And the pitch. And that one is tapped foul. Right near the batter's box, 0-1. The Bay Diggers will be in Strasburg on Thursday. Now we have a coach's instruction. I love that. It's called a batter between the plate and third base and teach them how to stride. That should be taken care of in practice, for crying out loud. No balls and one strike. And the offering. Swung on and lifted into left field, and coming on and making the catch is Castillo. And Weld Central is limited to 1 run in the top of the second inning. They do it on a base hit. No errors and 1 left. An inning and a half is complete. In Brush, the Rebels of Weld Central lead the Bee Diggers 6-1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning. Weld Central leads Brush 6-1. Here's Tegan Haluska for Brush. The left-handed hitting first baseman against the right-hander Hernandez. Swung on and grounded a short on the 2-hopper. Throw to first is right there. Solid play by Kayla Kitzman on a ball that was hit sharply by Haluska. 1 down. That's some of the best softball we've seen in the early going. A solid swing, a solid bouncer, and a good play defensively. Here is Castillo batting .500. The pitch, swing, and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher Cifuentes. No balls and 1 strike. We have not come close to a 1-2-3 half inning yet. And the offering, that's up and in. Count is even at 1-1, followed by Angelique Schrum. With the bases empty in the bottom of the second. And the offering, swung on and lifted into shallow right field, and coming on and making the grab is Hebert. 2 down. Castillo retired for Schrum. She's had 4 plate appearances, has scored 4 runs, which means she's been a courtesy runner. Looking for her first hit of the season, right-handed hitter. The pitch, swung on and lined up the middle off the pitcher, fielded by the shortstop. Throw to first, late. It's a base hit. There you go, Angelique. A nice solid swing. And that'll clear the lineup here for Molly Wolf. Wolf hitting 125. That's what you want. You don't want to start with a 9-hitter in the third. Start with the number 1 hitter if Wolf does not reach. The pitch, up and in. A ball and no strikes. I said just throw strikes. If both pitchers can do it, that would really advance the game. The offering, swung on, fouled. Off to the right towards the Digger dugout. Weld Central scored 5 runs in the first. That's the difference, 6-1. 2 out, 1 on for Brush. The offering, inside. 2-1, throw back to first. I'm not sure why Cifuentes is doing that, especially with the number of errors committed in this game. You get the number 9 hitter, that base runner means nothing. And the 2-1. Swung on, that is grounded up the middle. Nice play by the second baseman, Banji. Tosses to first and retires Molly Wolf. For the Bee Diggers, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. To the third we go. Weld Central 6, Brush 1. This is the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Bee Diggers trail the Weld Central Rebels 6-1 in Brush as we head to the third. Bottom of the lineup for Weld Central. Looks like in that 8-hole they have got, that's got to be Samantha Stam. We're going to check the roster real quick. And not Tessa Hebert, but that was certainly not the way the lineup looked. Oh, no, Hebert is now wearing 21. Okay, so that was her. Just had the numbers all mixed up. The pitch down and away to Jordan Cifuentes. Singled and scored, did Cifuentes. Lefevre ready, and the pitch swung on and lifted and caught by the shortstop. Brisa Aguirre Garcia on a flare. 1 out. Anytime the ball's hit to her, it should be an automatic out. She's that good. Tessa Hebert had that bunt single. And a nice release on that second pitch by Lefevre. But now she's squaring a bunt, trying to distract Lefevre. Let's see if it works. It did not. Swung on, grounded to short. Aguirre Garcia, 1-hop low throw, and it skips away. That'll be an error on the shortstop. Got to make a good throw there. Haluska could not handle it. The Bee Diggers have committed 4 in the game. And that's a routine play. Here's Jaden Cifuentes. She singled her first time up, a 2-run base hit to make it 5-0 at the time. Man, you've got to make every play. Every play. But Issa knows that you can't make that low of a throw. That one is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Just frustrating to watch this team so far. Knowing there's some young talent, but got to come through. Especially with veterans. With your experienced players, mistakes are not an option. The offering, if you want to win, that is, that's a strike, but the ball is dropped. Ludgate still throws it a second. It's a stolen base. Yeah, you don't want to throw that ball to second off of a drop by the catcher. 1 ball and 1 strike. Stolen base from Hebert. Weld Central looking to extend the lead. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Top 3, 6-1 Rebels. Lefevre to the plate. Bounces away into the screen. To third is Hebert on the wild pitch. But again, how's that set up? By a throwing error. I mean, right now there should be 2 out and nobody on. Now the infield has to play in down by 5 runs. And Cifuentes already has a 2-run single. The offering bounces to the plate again. 3-1. Allison Landers is on deck. This city could have changed altogether if the play is made for the second out. The pitch. Yep, again, barely got to the plate. Another walk. And here is Landers, who walked and grounded out. And for Lefevre, she has issued 4 walks in the game. Landers from the left side. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that pitch was above the letters again. I'm not understanding Weld Central's philosophy at all. That's twice this inning that Lefevre has walked a hitter. Then the next hitter swings at the first pitch, and neither of those pitches were strikes. Doesn't make any sense. But that's not on the hitter. That's on the coach. The offering. That's right there, maybe a little bit below the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the base runner at first takes second on a no-throw situation. 2 runners in scoring position for Landers. Lefevre looks in. And the offering. Oh, again, bounces in. 2-1. Well, that's the other thing. You're going to make mistakes. Now you need your pitcher to bail you out. With so many variables going on for Brush. 2-1. Swung on and grounded slowly to short. The play's going to be to the plate, but the throw gets away all the way to the screen. Here comes another run to the plate and scoring. Then the ball is loose in the infield, and a second will be Landers. It's going to be a fielder's choice. Aguirre Garcia with her second error of the inning, allowing Cifuentes, the second runner, to score. It's 8-1. So there is one RBI there. And for the Bee Diggers, that is their fifth error of the game. That'll bring up Bailey Park. Catcher's interference and lined out to Lefevre. Looking in. And the offering. That is a strike on the inside corner. No balls and one strike. Anytime you've got a lot more errors than runs, you're in trouble. The Bee Diggers have one run and have committed 5 miscues. The pitch, that's taken for a strike on the outside corner as Park was striding towards the pitcher. No balls and 2 strikes. I mean, Weld Central is 5-4, so they've won some games. The offering. And check swing and caught by the first baseman. Haluska throw to second. And back in is Landers, or did they say they got her? They say the throw was in time. It's a double play. Oh, man, I thought she was back, but it's a double play. And that will go 3-6 to end the inning. Weld Central takes advantage of 2 brush errors, and they played 2. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. In brush, it's Weld Central 8. The Bee Diggers 1 on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Bee Diggers find themselves in an 8-1 hole in the bottom of the third inning. They do have the top of the order, Lefevre, Lamberts, and Aguirre Garcia against right-hander Anastasia Hernandez. 5 runs were scored in the first inning by Weld Central. The pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Lefevre, Lambert, and Aguirre Garcia in this bottom of the third. And the offering. And that ball clipped her. Let's see if that's the start of a comeback. Reese Lambert will now hit. Struck out swinging her first time up. Seven errors combined in the first 2 1/2 innings. Squaring to bunt, and then she pops it up and caught by the catcher. Back to first is Lefevre. Why bunt that ball? That was a rise ball, and it barely went over the catcher's helmet. She just looked up, and Cifuentes had it right in her glove. That's not the pitch to bunt. 1 down. Here's Aguirre Garcia. She walked. And that pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, there's no reason for Avery now to even think about being aggressive. At least trying to take a base with Aguirre Garcia up there. You can play it safe because Brisa's going to drive the ball somewhere. And the offering. Swung on and driven deep into left center field to the track. And it is gone. A home run, a 2-run shot by the junior Brisa Aguirre Garcia. And the Bee Diggers draw a little bit closer in the bottom of the third. It's 8-3. Exactly why you can just relax when you're at first base. It didn't clear that netted fence by much, but it doesn't matter how far it goes. Brisa, a major weapon for the Bee Diggers. Hitting .417 going in. That's the first home run by Brush this season. Here's Alicia Hernandez. And that pitch was belt level, maybe a little bit higher. Yeah, that is her hitting zone, without a doubt. And the offering. swung on and lifted foul territory, third base side, and it'll take a bounce. That could have been caught by the third baseman, Cifuentes, but she got a late jump, as did the catcher, Cifuentes. That gives Hernandez another shot. No balls and one strike. The Bee Diggers have got to find a way to keep Weld Central off the board. The offering up and in. One ball and one strike. The pitch. Fouled straight back. Pitch up in the zone. One ball and two strikes. The home run by Brisa, brought to you by Rudy's Tires. 9 locations across Northeast Colorado and Nebraska means there's always a location close by. Rudy'sTires.com for more. And that is a called strike 3 right down the middle. Belt high, and the cleanup hitter strikes out looking. Brianna Ludgate is now the hitter. That is 3 strikeouts for Hernandez. Ludgate was one of them. And the pitch up and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Brianna Ludgate. The pitch swung on, pop foul, and out of play. Count is at 1-1 to Ludgate. With the bases empty in the bottom of the third inning, the Bee Diggers trail Weld Central 8-3. They were down 5-0 after half an inning. Up and in. Hernandez has not thrown a lot of pitches, but doesn't look overly sharp either. The difference, though, is the brush defense and pitching. 5 errors, 4 walks. That's 9 free batters. The pitch swung on. That ball's grounded foul along the third base side. Straight up at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Weldona. On the TuneIn app as well. All parts of the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Up and in, nearly clipped her. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I'm not sure Anastasia Hernandez knows exactly where the ball's going either. She kind of knows, but not completely sure. 3-2. Outside, it just missed. She tried to paint the corner, but again, she's all over the place. A walk to Ludgate as Haluska grounded a short in her first plate appearance. What do we have now? I love when 2 umpires convene and you're never sure why. Covering all electric work from residential to commercial to agricultural. Better Electric. Better does matter. 970-521-1030. Well, let's play some ball here. By the way, the game time temperature, very pleasant. It's about the only thing that's been pleasant. The pitch, very high. Runner to second. Throw is going to be late. Stolen base. 73 degrees. Ludgate's got tons of speed. No balls and check it. 1 ball and no strike to Haluska. And the pitch, swing and a foul tip right into the glove of Cifuentes. 1-1. And the offering upstairs with the off speed. 2-1. And now a mound visit. Cifuentes out there. We did start at 4:10, so we're not at the 1 hour mark yet. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 across on the home run by Brisa Aguirre Garcia. The offering. Swing and a miss on a rise ball. 2-2. The pitch. And that one is really up and in. Backhanded beautifully by Cifuentes. 3-2. And the offering swung on and lifted into right center field. That's going to hit a gap. That's going to drop for a base hit. Ludgate around third. She will score. Haluska has had two good swings. She's into second with an RBI double. And it's now 8-4. The Bee Diggers have three across in the bottom of the third inning. And for Brush, that is their third hit of the game. That'll bring up Castillo, who popped to right in her first at bat. Righty against righty. And the offering bounces to the dish. The Bee Diggers were a 19-win team a year ago. They will not get to that total this year. They be lucky to come close, but that's what happens when you graduate all the starters but two. Pitch off the glove and then nearly thrown away. On the wild pitch to third is Haluska. Now we'll have a mound visit again, or a circle visit, I should say. But this time from the dugout, so they'll have to keep her in there. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, the line score is not pretty. 8 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, 3 left on base for the Rebels. The Bee Diggers, 4 runs, 3 hits, 5 errors, and 2 left on base, and 2 of those errors on the shortstop, Aguirre Garcia. And you expect her to be pretty flawless. But that has not happened, at least defensively. She does have a 2-run homer, and that's how the Bee Diggers are trying to rally, even though we have plenty of softball to go. And headed for a 2+ hour affair, unless these teams can get it together, at least defensively. 2 balls and no strikes on Castillo with Haluska third. She just stroked an RBI double into the right center field gap. And the offering swung on and fouled off to the right. To give you an idea, in this game, we've already had 118 pitches. We're not even through the third inning. The pitch swung on line, base hit into center field. Here comes Haluska. Castillo comes through. Another 2-out hit for Brush. It's 8-5 Weld Central. Angelique Schrum, in her 5th plate appearance of the season, lined a base hit off the pitcher in the second inning. Now the Bee Diggers have 4 across in the frame. The offering up and away. I mean, this is not what you're worried about. It's on the other end. You're going to get enough offense in this game. Not in every game, but in this game for sure. 2-0. Another bouncer there thrown by Hernandez. And again, she's really not sure. Let's face it, 29 strikes, 25 balls. Her ratio is actually worse than Avery's. The offering, nope, upstairs, 3-0. Avery's thrown some quality pitches, but when they're not there, they haven't been close. 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch upstairs, it's a walk to Schrum on 4 pitches. Here is Molly Wolf, grounded to second. And Molly Wolf is the 9th hitter of the inning. Lefevre got this started when she was hit by a pitch. The offering right down the middle, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Wolf ready, so's Hernandez. The pitch up and away. 1-1. Runners at first and second. Castillo and Schrum. The pitch That's outside. Ball 2, strike 1. With Lefevre on deck. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch tailing away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. A 3-run lead for the Rebels in Brush. Wolf awaits the offering. Swing and a miss very late on that swing on that rise ball. Bee-Diggers finally are retired in this inning. In the bottom of the third, 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors and 2 left. To the fourth we go in 1 minute. Weld Central 8, Brush 5. This is 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 8-5, Weld Central. We move to the 4th inning. The heart of the order for the Rebels, Brielle Banji, Kayla Kitzman, and Anastasia Hernandez. Against Avery Lefevre. Banji is 0 for 1. Popped out and walked. Lefevre has a couple of strikeouts, but has 4 walks as well. And 2 wild pitches. The pitch. Is that off the corner? No, on the corner for a strike. You got to sit there and wait. No balls and 1 strike to the number 3 hitter. Officially 0 for 1. Avery gets the sign, setting up on the outside corner's Ludgate. Bounces to the dish. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefevre will throw her 70th pitch. 40 strikes, 29 balls. Not bad, but the 4 walks are not good. And the pitch. Down and in. 2-1. And you don't want to try to be perfect. Just because your defense has let you down, you cannot try to be perfect. Just do what you do, and hopefully things go well. That's up and in. 3-1. But the goal really is 3 walks or less. Once you get above 3, 4 to 5 is so-so, and above 5 is awful. It's just way too much. The pitch in the dirt, and that's walk number 5. So it's got to stop right here for Lefevre. Here's Kayla Kitzman, aboard on an error and then struck out 0 for 2. Yeah, you look at the line here in terms of earned runs. And Lefevre's allowed just 1 earned run. Down and in. So despite all the walks, she's pitched well enough that Brush could be in the lead. 1 ball and no strikes. But this has got to get better for Brush with anybody who's in that circle. The offering. Swung on line. Inside the third baseline into the corner. Rounding second and headed for third is Banji. The throw's going to be late. It's a double for Kayla Kitzman, and 2 runners are in scoring position for Weld Central. And that was hit beautifully just beyond the outstretched glove of Hernandez. Now they're going to switch positions. Lambert's going to take third, yeah, because that was really a slow reaction over there by Hernandez. It's almost like she didn't see it until the ball was by her. Not that she could have really made that play. It was not going to be an easy play to make. Swung on, grounded right back to the circle. Lefevre to the plate. The throw is low, and it gets to the backstop. And it's now going to be 9-5, a routine play. Well, that's going to be scored a fielder's choice. You cannot score an error because you cannot assume that an out would have been made, although an out should have been made. My gosh, how bad can Brush get defensively in this game? It is just falling apart. Again, not scored an error because she went to the plate and it did not advance another runner. Had another runner advance, it's still a fielder's choice, but it would have been an error. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat. Rupel has struck out and popped out. That is twice in this game Brush has gone to the plate. One was an errant throw. That throw was not too bad there by Lefevre, but could not be handled by Ludgate. But no error. The pitch swung on, grounded to short. Aguirre Garcia bobbles, picks it up, throws to first. That's late. That'll be her third error of the game. It is a run batted in. Weld Central leads 10-5. I think she was thinking, let's get rid of it as quickly as possible. Never had a true handle. Jordan Cifuentes singled and lined out. And the pitch. Scooped up by Ludgate. 1 ball and no strikes. So Reese Lambert now at third and Hernandez at second. Made that switch a couple of batters ago. The offering nearly hit her. Had to skip out of the way. 2-0. Weld Central scored in every inning. 5 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 so far in the fourth. Bee Diggers had made it a 3-run game. It's back up to 5, and they're looking for more. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and tapped foul to the backstop. 2-1. If Lefevre finishes out this game, she's going to beat it about 140 pitches easily. 130 to 140. No doubt about it. You have nobody out in the fourth and 2 on. If she's allowed to finish it out. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jordan Cifuentes. The offering swung on and lifted towards center field, caught by Schramm. Nope, she dropped the ball. It was in her glove. Never looked it in. The bases are loaded. Looked like it was right in the glove, and somehow it squirted out. Oh, my God. Wow. I'm trying not to be tough on these players. But Brush now with 7 errors in the game. Here's Tessa Hebert. Bunt and reached on an error. Well, I don't have to be tough. The errors speak for themselves. The infield is in, still nobody out. In the fourth inning, the pitch. Swung on and chopped slowly to second. The play towards the plate, the throw, and safe. And that is because Ludgate did not have her foot on home plate. Again, scored a fielder's choice. And it's 11-5. Yeah, I think her foot was out in front of home plate. The throw was a little bit low by Hernandez, but it would have been there in time. It was there in time, in fact. Oh, my gosh. Here is Jaden Cifuentes. Singled and walked. 2-run single. Down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, not scored a miscue at all. Not scored an error because you do not assume. That's the rule in baseball and softball. You can't assume it would have been an out. But if the foot is on the plate, it's an out. Infield in again, 1-0. That is a strike or no. Outside, 2-0. You never know. The umpire stands up on a pitch that looked very similar to a strike he called earlier in the game. 2 balls, no strikes, nowhere to put her. Lefevre to Cifuentes. The pitch in the dirt, 3-0. I'm not sure if this is going to be the final hitter for Avery. 85 pitches deep, looking for the first out of the fourth inning. Bases loaded, 3-0. The pitch right there for a strike. At the knees, it's 3-1. Weld Central's biggest inning was the first with 5 runs. They could eclipse that in this fourth inning. They've got 3 across. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch right down the center of the plate, 3-2. Lefevre still, despite all the walks, 49 strikes and 38 balls. That's not bad. But it's those 3-2 counts that she's been unable to solve, including the first hitter of the game. The pitch swung on and grounded slowly to third. Lambert to the plate, and the throw is there for the out. They got Rupo at the plate for the force. That'll go 5-2. 1 out, the first out of the inning. Thank goodness. Needed that badly. Bases remain loaded for Landers. 0 for 2. A walk, a ground out, and a fielder's choice. So now Cifuentes are on the corners and Tessa Heber's at second. That's an excellent play there by Lambert. That's the third time they've gone to the plate, but the first time they've executed it. Infield remains in. The pitch, swung on line, base hit into left field. That'll score a run and no more. The throw's going to be to the plate. RBI single for Landers, now 1 for 3. Crossing home plate is Jordan Cifuentes. Weld Central has their 6th hit of the game. It's 12-5. By the way, let's credit Lefevre. What a nice job coming back down 3-0 to retire the hitter before that base hit. Here's Bailey Park, 0 for 2. Outside. Reached on an interference call, lined out and popped out. Hebert at third, Cifuentes at second, Landers at first. 4 across in the inning for Weld Central. And the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch down around the ankles. 1-1. The biggest total in this game besides the runs for Weld Central is the number of errors by brush was 7. And the offering. Swung on and tapped foul behind the plate on that rise ball, 1-2. I still think this is a confidence builder for Avery. Just the fact she's throwing a lot more strikes than balls. That ratio is not as favorable in previous outings, but it is today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swing and a foul off the end of the bat. What a changeup. She has such a good changeup, but it was fouled off the end of the bat. Remains at 1-2. To Bailey Park. That's the first time in 93 pitches that Lefevre threw that changeup. Infield remains playing in. And the offering. Swung on, popped, foul. Out of play off to the right. Weld Central with a 12-5 lead in the top of the 4th inning. We've had 17 runs combined, 10 hits combined, and 9 errors. It'll be another 1-2. Open stands for the right-handed hitter. That means she can take that inside pitch and just pull it. Lefevre getting the sign, looking for the rise ball. There it is, and it's upstairs. Ludgate, a nice job of stabbing that one. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on, grounded off the end of the bat to second. The play should be at first, underhand toss, and that is in time. Yeah, there was no play at the plate. It was hit so softly. Scoring is Hebert. RBI for Park. And 5 runs across in the inning. It's now 13-5. Weld Central, and that's the right play made there by Hernandez. Very smart play. Two runners in scoring position for Brielle Banji. She's been on base twice via the walk. She's also popped out. Lefevre to the dish. Right down the center for a strike. Cannot stress enough with Lefevre. Allowed 13 runs, only 4 earned. Only 4. That's the issue. It's more on the defense than the pitcher. The offering in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Approaching 100 pitches in this one. Yeah, at this pace, if she goes 7, that's 200 pitches. Or close to it. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, 2 on, 5 across in the 4th, 13-5, Weld Central. Rise ball is up and in. 2-1 to the second baseman, Brielle Banji. Tall right-handed stick. Wearing that baby blue helmet. And the pitch in the dirt. 3-1. Unofficially, it'll be pitch number 100. We could not have a better day for any sport. Unfortunately for the Bee Diggers, not turning out to be the type of game they want. They're going to go to 2-3 unless they can rally, but there's still plenty to go. The offering, that one is low. It's a walk, and the bases are loaded for Kayla Kitzman. Aboard on an error. Struck out and doubled, scoring a run. This could break it wide open for the Rebels. Wide open. Bee Diggers need to stop this. The pitch. Up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. At third is Jaden Cifuentes. Allison Landers at second. The base runner at first is Brielle Banji. And the 1-0. Down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. For over 100 years, Premier Farm Credit has been providing affordable, reliable, and consistent credit. Visit PremierACA.com. 2-0. Swung on, line into left field. That's a base hit. Castillo on a hop. Throws towards third. It will score. Cifuentes. Kitzman with another RBI. 14-5. Weld Central with 6 across in the 4th inning. And the onslaught continues for Anastasia Hernandez, the 12th hitter of the inning. Walked, singled, and a fielder's choice. The pitch, swing and a miss. Late swing, and she opened up that stance on a pitch tailing away. No balls and 1 strike. And fielder's back with 2 down. This is a very good contact hitter. The offering, and that is scooped up by Ludgate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brush was down by 5, then trailing by 3, and now trailing by 9. And the offering, down and in, 2-1. 58 strikes, 48 balls unofficially for Avery Lefevre. With the bases loaded. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. Is that a strike at the knees? Yes, it is. Bottom of the zone, 2-2. All right, let's see if she can close her out right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the opposing pitcher. The Bee Diggers have been 1 pitch away here for a couple of batters. The offering, changeup is going to be a little bit low. Oh, what a pitch. Barely missed below the knees. 3-2. Oh, this is going to be what they call a payoff pitch. Here it is. Swung on, grounded foul off the hitter, up the third base side. Remains at 3-2. This is a long top of the 4th inning. If we go 7, we're not even halfway through, and we played 1 hour and 18 minutes. Started at 4:10. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled again at the plate. Bottom of the zone on that one. We'll do it once again. That puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher, without question, to throw another strike. Lefevre's walked 6 in the game. The pitch. That is a called strike 3 on the outside corner at the knees. What a pitch. And Weld Central leaves the bases loaded. 6 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Rebels are in control. They lead the Bee Diggers in brush 14-5 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We now move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jordan Cifuentes is now the new pitcher. And the lead for Weld Central is 14-5. over brush. Let's see. It had not. It looks like maybe Banji went to third. Allie Weber is now at second. So those are the changes defensively for Weld Central. Anastasia Hernandez out of the game. Back to the top of the order. They batted 9 in the third inning. Lefevre, Lambert, and Aguirre Garcia. Lefevre aboard twice on an error and a hit by pitch. And again, I'll go back to what I said earlier. Good softball goes quickly. This is not going fast at all. The pitch. That is outside. Well, Cifuentes brings it. Let's see if she can find the strike zone. We have had, I believe, we're at the 200 pitch mark. The offering fouled. .63 pitches thrown by Weld Central. Lefevre's at 111, so it's 174, not at 200 yet. We're going to get there, though. The pitch swung on and driven foul off to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Avery Lefevre. You could play 2 games today and not be worn down. Can you imagine? About a 12-degree drop from yesterday. More than that, actually. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and driven on the ground foul up the third base side. I think that ball might have gone in or on her so much it would have hit her. Remains at 1-2 to Lefevre. Weld Central has led the entire game. The pitch outside, backhanded by Cifuentes. Jordan to Jaden. Count is at 2-2. Lefevre, a senior, awaits, swung on and chopped slowly. Third baseman Banji throws to first late. It'll be an infield hit, not hit hard, and all the speed by Lefevre allows her to reach. Reese Lambert struck out and popped out. This is where they need production. Top 3 and 4 in the lineup. You got to have a lot of production here. The pitch, up and away with a heater. 1 ball and no strikes. Digging back in is Lambert. The pitch, foul to the backstop on the rise ball. It's 1-1. And if the Bay Diggers do not produce offensively or defensively, Tom Odell's going to keep going at it till he finds the right combinations out there. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a ball tailing down and away. It's 1-2 to Reese Lambert. Solid contact hitter, although she did strike out in her first appearance. The offering, and that's tapped foul on a pitch that was way up there. Lambert came in hitting .500. That average just dropped, and it will drop today unless she gets base hits from here on out because she's 0 for 2. And the pitch swung on and fouled back. Remains at no balls and 2 strikes to Reese Lambert. Weld Central leads 14-5. We're only in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the offering fouled back again. Solid plate appearance for Lambert. Another 1-2 pitch is upcoming. Laying down the sign, Cifuentes the pitch, swing and a miss. Second time she has struck out. What a pitch that was, tailing away. Brisa Aguirre Garcia has walked and drilled a 2-run homer. The pitch, way outside, so outside it skips to the backstop. To second, Avery Lefevre on the wild pitch. Her 2-run homer went over the left center field fence. Up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. to Brisa Aguirre Garcia. Cifuentes to the plate. And that is a little bit high, 3-0. Now, Brisa could get on every time. She's that good. Three-0 pitch. That's down and in. 4-pitch walk. Here is Hernandez. Popped out and struck out. First and second. And the offering. That is a good one from here. And it's called a ball outside. I don't know what's a ball and a strike anymore. 1 ball and no strikes. Cifuentes way outside. There's no doubt about that one. 2-0. And she has thrown 6 pitches in a row outside the zone. And yet no visit. No slowing down of this pace. 2-0. That looks like a good one. It is a strike. Belt high on the rise ball to Alicia Hernandez from Jordan Cifuentes. 2 balls, 1 strike. At second, Lefevre. And that pitch is a strike on the corner. Aguirre Garcia at first, 2-2. 1 out. And the pitch. Swung on and tapped slowly. Left side, this is going to be a tough one. The throw to first of the pitcher is low, and that one is going to be late. On the errant throw, it will allow Hernandez to reach. It was scooped out of there by Rupel, but it's going to be scored in air on Cifuentes, and the bases are loaded. I think a good throw might have had her, even though it was not that easy of a play, but she did come up with it. Ludgate has struck out and walked. 1 swing, and the Bee Diggers can draw a lot closer. The pitch, swing and fouled off the end of the bat. Threw her a changeup. It's 0-1. Yeah, now we're getting so close to 200 pitches combined. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch. Swing and a miss to it right by Ludgate. It's 0-2. I'm not sure why the shortstop Kitzman is halfway, now backing up a bit. They don't need to be in. Yeah, that's ludicrous. You're up by 9 runs. The second baseman, Weber, is back. The pitch, popped foul. Yeah, that is ridiculous. Playing up with a 9-run lead? That makes no sense whatsoever. Unless they feel that this hitter Ludgate's not going to hit the ball hard. The pitch, swing and a miss on the ball in the dirt. No advance because the bases were occupied and first base at that, 2 down. Despite the fact the Bee Diggers have 5 runs in the game, they have struck out quite a few times. The pitch, that is inside. Yeah, you look at Brush, strikeout-wise. 6 strikeouts. Is that 6 or more? Yeah, 6 strikeouts. Haluska grounded out and doubled. Swung on and grounded into left field for a base hit. That scores a run. Brisa Aguirre Garcia around third. She will step on home plate. It's a 2-run single from Haluska. 3 RBIs in the game, and she took that pitch essentially off the ground. That was almost in the dirt when she swung at it. But the Bee Diggers make it 14-7. She is a solid hitter. 3 really good at-bats. Here's Karime Castillo. Popped out and singled. This score is going to be a football score by the time we're done. So Castillo at 1 for 2. The problem is the Bee Diggers have lost every inning. Except the third. Strike. Down the middle, it's 0-1. Every inning they have lost. Of course, every inning only being 4. No balls and 1 strike. The offering. And that went off her back foot. Yep. Off her back foot on the back of the foot.
Now batting, number 1, Angelique Schrum.
Angelique Schrum has singled and walked. That's a good sign. Bases loaded, 2 down. Whatever it takes. Bee Diggers need to draw closer. Down by 7. That's a lot of runs, especially when you cannot retire the opposing team. Swing and a miss and a ball diving down in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. We're nowhere close to nighttime ball, and that is a little bit low. Or nope, that's a strike. Again, you don't know. You're just taking a guess. Unless you want to wait an extra 3 seconds, which I have to. I should. And the 0-2 pitch swung on and grounded slowly foul on the first base side. Remains at 0-2 to Angelique Schrum. On the bases, Hernandez, Haluska, and Castillo. The offering upstairs from Jordan Cifuentes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs and 2 across. The pitch upstairs again. 2-2. Back in the box is Angelique Schrum. The pitch swung on line and twisting foul up the right field line. Good inside out swing. And we've said it many times, this is not going to be the issue in many of the games this season. It's not about the offense. It's about pitching and defense. The offering swung on and grounded to third and fielded, and stepping on the bag is Brielle Banji for the force. And that does it for the Bee Diggers in this inning. Let's recap it here momentarily. And the inning for Brush. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and the bases were left loaded, 4 complete. Weld Central 14, Brush 7 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Swing and a miss on the first pitch at the top of the 5th inning. Avery Lefevre delivering here to Leah Ruppel, who is 0 for 3. And the offering. Swung on and driven deep into left field. That one might find a gap, and it does. It takes 1 hop up against the bottom of the netting. It's a leadoff double in the 5th inning for Leah Ruppel, her first hit in 4 plate appearances. And Weld Central, believe it or not, despite all those runs, only picks up their 8th hit. Here's Jordan Cifuentes, singled, lined out, and aboard on a miscue. And the pitch swung on and bounced over the circle for a base hit into center field. Here comes Ruppel around third, throw towards the plate. She slides in safely. And to second is Cifuentes with an RBI single. It's 15-7. Well, now they're swinging the bats. And that'll bring up Tessa Hebert. A bunt single. Aboard again on an error and a fielder's choice. 1 for 3 in the game. That's an earned run allowed by Lefevre. Not too many earned runs today. She's pitched respectably well. Just a few too many walks. Changeup is taken for a ball. Man, I don't know where that missed. It must have been low. That changeup looks really good. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tessa Hebert. Weld Central scored in every inning. 5 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 6 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. The Bee Diggers with a run in the first, 4 in the third, 2 in the fourth. That's the way it's broken down. Down 15-7, and the pitch. And that is outside, backhanded by Ludgate, 2-1. Yeah, basically what you have to do is you got to add up the errors and the walks. And right now that number is at 13, and that is way too much. Inside heater is a ball. Yeah, you've got only 5 earned runs allowed by Lefevre. I mean, that's indicative of atrocious defense. 3-1 pitch. Swung on and bounced over the circle. Shortstop, Aguirre Garcia fires to first. 1 out. To third is Cifuentes. Cifuentes has singled, walked, and a fielder's choice. That single drove in 2 to make it a 5-0 game in the top of the first inning. Bee Diggers are playing the infield in. Lefevre ready. And the offering. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. No balls and a 1 strike to Jaden Cifuentes. And the pitch. Changeup. That one bounced in. That's the only one that's gotten away from her. But this team does make contact. There's no question about it. Avery has picked up only 3 strikeouts in the game. And the offering. Swung on and grounded slowly along the third base side. Foul. Count sitting at 1-2 to Jaden Cifuentes. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, a runner at third. Weld Central leads in the top of the 5th inning, 15-7. The offering, and that one slipped off her fingers. And that one rolled to the dish. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Allison Landers. Let's see what Avery can throw to this hitter. It just swung the bat so well. The pitch in the dirt. 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and lifted and caught by the shortstop Aguirre Garcia on a flare. 2 down. I'm telling you, Lefevre's really done a nice job here. I mean, most of the struggles were early. I know they scored 6 runs in that 4th inning, but she has held her own against a very good lineup. Hitting well over 400 going in. Allison Landers with an RBI single. 1 for 3. The offering, and that is off the glove of Ludgate, but no advance from the runner at third. As it went to the backstop, 1-0. The Bee Diggers are looking to limit Weld Central to 1 run for the 2nd time in the game. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch swung on and tapped foul. Count levels at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 2 down. Allison Landers, left-handed hitter, on pitch number 128 from Lefevre. Swung on, and that is off the glove. It's a swinging strike. Yeah, there's no such thing as a swinging ball, John. Not that I know of. 1-2. Again, Lefevre looking for only her 4th strikeout of the game. She doesn't care. She just wants an out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on. That ball is grounded to second. Underhand toss by Alicia for the out. And that ends the frame. Weld Central in the inning, a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. And we have played 4 1/2 innings. at Jocelyn Field here in Brush. The score, Weld Central 15, the Bead Diggers 7. As you are listening to Bead Diggers softball on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. All right, let's move to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Bead Diggers trail Weld Central 15-7. So we're going to go at least 6 innings, no doubt about that. Hope to go a lot more than that. Well, to the 7th inning. I don't want to go extra innings, not in a game like this. Here we go in the bottom of the 5th. And I think we've got a pinch hitter here. That one bounces in with the long hair. Tough to... Let's see who that is. I thought I heard Caitlin Johnson. 1 ball and no strikes. Wouldn't match the number that I have, and that is going to be a strike. Well, wearing number 11. Well, I'm going to go with Caitlin Johnson. That's what I heard. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Oh, is that going to be ruled a ball? That should be ruled a ball. Headed towards the plate, never got it off. I don't know if she hurt herself, but that should be 2-1. That should be 2-1, and I think the umpire, in fact, did signal that would be a ball. Meanwhile, let's look at the lineup that we got before the game to confirm who that is for Brush. Yep, Katie Johnson. So Katie Johnson, the hitter. And I don't know if they made the adjustment. I thought it should be 2-1. Now the umpires are convening. Are they going to penalize her a strike? Because she did stride towards the plate, but the ball never left her hand. And the board shows 1 ball and 1 strike. With a 15-7 lead for Weld Central, the bottom of the 5th inning. And again, let's just get to the bottom of it. She slipped, didn't deliver. And now the game is long enough to begin with. We don't need a delay just over a technicality. So now they've got it up there, 2 balls and 1 strike. It's a ball because she was striding towards the plate and the ball never left her hand. Now the pitch, up and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. To the number 9 hitter, and the first appearance in the game for Johnson. The pitch, that's going to be a walk on 5 pitches, and that'll bring up Lefevre, who's been aboard all 3 times on an error, a hit-by pitch, and a single. Keep in mind, it was 1 year ago the Bead Diggers had a late rally in Keensburg and pulled off a tremendous victory, which started a nice winning streak. The pitch, foul to the backstop. No balls and 1 strike. Weld Central was held to a run in that 5th inning. The only half inning neither team scored was when the Bead Diggers were blanked in the bottom of the 2nd. 0-1, and the offering. Fouled off to the right. No balls and 2 strikes. Brush will play another team wearing red on Thursday. They're in Strasburg. 4 o'clock first pitch right here on 1010. And the pitch upstairs. All right, let's put the numbers together. Let's see. In this game, a total of 235 pitches. We're going to hit 300. The pitch swung on, lined, and into right field for a base hit. Lefevre now at 2 for 3. To second is Johnson, and the Bead Diggers generating a rally in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brush now with 7 hits in the game. Reese Lambert has really struggled. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And the pitch upstairs. Man, Brush could really turn it around. If Lambert gets on, you've got Brice on deck. She has not been retired today with 2 walks and a 2-run homer. The pitch. Oh, jeez. That pitch didn't get close to the plate. She swung at it. I don't know why. You got to start taking here when you're 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. I mean, you're up there to get on base. And the 1-1 squaring to bunt, and she pops it foul down the third base side. Well, one swing could get Reese out of an in-game slump. Sometimes there are just some days you don't see the ball. She is not seeing the ball today. Just not seeing it. 0-2 here against Jordan Cifuentes. And the offering. Swung on and lifted on the right side. Second baseman to her left. Making the grab over there is Allie Weber, 1 down. 0 for 4 is Lambert. Well, the only reason you're going to pitch to Brisa is because the team on the field leads by 8 runs. Has not been retired in the game. Cifuentes to the plate. Swung on line. Base hit into left center field. Stepping on third is Johnson. She's going to stay right there. And Brisa's been on base 4 times, and the bases are loaded. And you talk about the game played by Brisa today. That's been Jekyll and Hyde. 4 times on base, but she's committed 3 errors. Hernandez is 0 for 3. Popped out, struck out, aboard on a miscue. The pitch upstairs and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. To Alicia Hernandez. And the offering, that is on the outside corner, level at 1-1. Since 2003, Western Engineering Consultants has been providing big firm product with small firm relationships. And the pitch is swung on and driven foul off the right side out of play. Visit westerneci.com for more. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brianna Ludgate is on deck. Johnson at third, Lefevre at second. Brisa's at first. And the 1-2. Swinging a line. Fair! It's on the chalk, and that one is still rolling. 2 runs are going to score. Aguirre Garcia steps on third, headed towards the plate. There's going to be a throw. It's going to be late. It's a bases clearing double for Alicia Hernandez, and the Bay Diggers draw to within 5. It's 15-10. Oh, the chalk went flying on that baby. And now here's Ludgate. Now Ludgate is in the same position Lambert was in with 2 strikeouts. She did walk. Ludgate's got to be very selective. Very selective. She has scuffled at the plate. The pitch swung on. That is driven into left field for a base hit left center. And a third is going to be Hernandez. And first and third, and Haluska's had great at-bats today. She is grounded out. It was a sharp grounder. Had an RBI double and a 2-run single. Bay Diggers down by 5 the pitch, and that is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Brush is actually out hitting Weld Central 10-9 with only 1 out and 3 across in the 6th inning. In the 5th inning, the offering swung on and fisted foul off to the left. Yeah, this could be the first of 20 the way it's going. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. And that's a strike. Runner to second. One and 2 to Haluska. And the offering. Foul to the backstop. She's a good hitter, good contact hitter. Remains at 1 and 2 to Haluska. 2 runners in scoring position. She's got 3 RBIs already. Cifuentes, the right-hander, to the plate. Swung on and lifted in the infield. That should be caught, and it will be a basket catch by Cifuentes, 2 down. And here is Castillo. Castillo was hit by a pitch, also singled and popped out. And the pitch, up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Again, 2 runners in scoring position. And the offering right there for a strike on the inner half at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike for Castillo. A base hit could draw Brush to within 3. And the offering swung on and fisted and caught. A basket catch by Rupel at first. And the Bee Diggers are limited to 3 runs in the 5th inning. On 4 hits, and again, they had 2 on with only 1 out, and neither one scored. We head to the 6th inning in this marathon of a game. In Brush, it's Weld Central 15, Brush 10 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Hopefully just a couple of more innings here with the Bee Diggers trailing Weld Central 15-10. They have carved into the lead. But the issue is neutralizing that Weld Central offense and playing defense. Weld Central has 9 hits. The Bee Diggers have committed 7 errors. It'll be Bailey Park, Brielle Banji, and Kayla Kitzman. Park is at 0 for 3. Lefevre with pitch number 130. And here it is. And it bounces all the way to the backstop. A catcher's interference, a line drive, a pop out, and a ground out. That's the line there for Bailey Park. Awaiting the pitch. And here it is. And bunting right back to the circle, charging, and then no throw. Will scored a base hit, but Lefevre really rushed it. She never got full control of the ball, but will scored a base hit. No guarantee she would make that play, but the Bee Diggers have had this habit here in this game. We've seen it from both Lefevre and Aguirre Garcia of trying to throw before they actually had the ball. One was scored an error. That one scored a base hit. Here's Banji, who's walked 3 times, squaring to bunt, laying it down the first base side, but rolling foul. No balls and 1 strike. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan. Also on the web at KSIR.com and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm John Beltran from Jocelyn Field and Brush. We have played 2 hours of softball, and we're still not close to having this game decided. 15-10 in the 6th inning. Weld Central with the lead. Fastball is upstairs. Runner to second to throw. Shortstop side to slide. Safe. It's a stolen base for Bailey Park. And it's 1-1. Yeah, Brush could easily win this thing. But again, it's going to start with pitching and defense. And the offering. That is right there, a beauty. The ball is dropped. Runner to third. That'll be a pass ball. Bailey Park gets to third on the pass ball. And the count should read 1-2 to Brielle Banji. Infield playing in again, but again, a reminder that Lefevre only has 3 strikeouts in the game. And here comes the pitch. Just down and away. 2-2. On deck is Kayla Kitzman. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Avery Lefevre delivers. Bounces in. Ludgate able to come up with a throw to third into left field. And scoring is going to be Bailey Park. It'll be a throwing error on the catcher Ludgate. It's 16-10. She was well off the base, but scoring due to the error. And the Bee Diggers now with 8 errors in the game. And that's another unearned run. And the offering. Swing and a miss. And Badgie strikes out, 1 down. Here's Kayla Kitzman. 4th strikeout for Avery Lefevre. Kitzman aboard on an error, struck out, doubled, and singled. 2 for 4. The pitch, fouled back. No balls and 1 strike. Kitzman has driven in 1 in the game. They've got 2 RBIs apiece from Hernandez, Jaden Cifuentes, and Allison Landers. And the 0-1 changeup is right there. You got to call that a strike, and he does. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 across. The bases are empty in the top of the 6th inning. Weld Central leads Brush 16-10. The pitch outside. Yeah, I don't know how Ludgate feels back there, but it's got to be tough. You've been in that crouch for a long, long time. Lefevre is going to go well over 150 pitches by the time this one is over. And the 1-2. Swung on and chopped foul, third base side. Count stays at 1-2 to Kayla Kitzman. One of the temperatures dropped into the 60s because it started off 73 degrees, perfect at game time. Pitch is swung on and missed. Oh, man, pulled the string. A strikeout, 2nd consecutive strikeout. Kitzman goes down. Lefevre's getting better. She's getting stronger throughout the game. Strikeout number 5, 2 down for Allie Weber. Her first plate appearance. Let's see, I'll check that because she came in for Hernandez. And that is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, Weber has not had a plate appearance in the game. And the offering. Looks pretty good from here. It's a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike to Allie Weber. Well, allowing 1 run is a victory for Brush in this game. They could do it for the 2nd consecutive inning and 3rd overall. And the pitch swung on and tapped slowly down the third base side, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here to Allie Weber. 1 pitch away from heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. After 2 hours and 2 minutes, the pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 consecutive strikeouts by Avery Lefevre, striking out the side. And a successful 6th inning. Weld Central with a run on a hit. There was a beat digger error, and the bases left empty to the bottom of the 6th in 1 minute. Weld Central 16, Brush 10. This is 1010 KSIR. And we're on the TuneIn app as part of the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Angelique Schrum will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Bead Diggers, trailing the Rebels of Weld Central 16-10. She'll be followed by Katie Johnson and Avery Lefevre. This is the 2nd pitcher. They've had Jordan Cifuentes. And the pitch. And that is a little bit up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. 8, 9, and 1 for the Bead Diggers in the bottom of the 6th. The offering. That bounces in. 2-0. 16 runs on 10 hits for Weld Central. 10 runs on 10 hits for Brush. The difference, the Bead Diggers have committed 8 errors. 3 for Weld Central, pitches up and away. And now the Rebels are certainly struggling with their pitching. They've issued 5 walks and make it 6. Up and away, a 4-pitch walk to Schrum.
Now batting, number 11, Caitlin Johnson.
So here's Caitlin Johnson. Walked and scored. Tall right-handed hitter. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That's a late swing from the righty. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, got to crank a lot earlier than that. That ball was virtually in the glove. And that one is a little bit outside. Throw back to first. Nothing doing. A ball and 1 strike. Brush and Strasburg in Strasburg on Thursday. Up and away on that changeup. Ball 2, strike 1. Let me see. Last year, the game was pretty long as well. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Threw it right by her. It's 2-2. When the Bee Diggers won last year, let's see how long that game was. 2-2 to Johnson. Up and in. Nearly clipped her. It's 3-2. Yeah, I'm trying to find that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swing and a miss, but first base is occupied. Yeah, I mean, they're throwing to first, but that should be an out. Let's see. I thought first base was occupied. The ball gets away, and the runner to third, it should be an out. Yeah, I don't think they're going to allow Johnson to reach. So she's going to be out without a doubt. But anyway, because the ball got away, Schrum to third. Here's Avery Lefevre. Lefevre, 2 for 3. A board on the air, hit by a pitch and single twice. Yeah, Tom Odell's wondering, but no. That's definitely an out. There's no debate there. The runner was taking it, but it's still occupied. That's still occupied at some point. It was not unoccupied when that pitch took off from the pitcher's hand. And in fact, they're going to send Schrum back to second. And a strikeout of Caitlin Johnson. And here we go with Lefevre. Bee Diggers down to their final 5 outs. Down by 6. The pitch fouled off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. You're going to get Brisa Aguirre Garcia up in this inning more than likely. And the offering inside. Backer off the plate. Rockies and Diamondbacks coming up at 7:40. Rockies on deck at 7 o'clock. Game should be over by then, but we're not sure. This game should be over. The pitch. That is a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Avery Lefevre. 16-10. Weld Central with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch. Swung on in line towards center field. Coming on, reaching out. And it's going to be caught. Throw back to second late. That's going to be late. What a catch by Bailey Park on the dive. Oh, she stole a base hit from Lefevre. And there's 2 down. And here's Lambert. That's the play of the game defensively. And it was done by Bailey Park on a dive on that ball that looked like it was ticketed for a base hit from Lefevre. The pitch. Changeup is upstairs. Lambert is 0 for 4. She's popped out twice and struck out twice. Yeah, I would take a strike. That's how much she's scuffled in this game. Take a strike. The pitch. That bounces in and bounces away. Schrum to third. On the wild pitch, 2-0. I mean, there's no, you have to take here. You have to take. You've got Brisa on deck. Yeah, there's no reason to swing at this pitch. I don't care if it's a meatball. 2-0 you're taking. Here it is. And she swung and grounded off the end of the bat to first. And stepping on the bag is Ruppel. I don't get it. Not a good decision. And the Bee Diggers are retired in this bottom of the 6th inning. That made no sense. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the 7th. Weld Central 16, Brush 10 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt from Avery Lefevre to Leah Ruppel. It was 1 for 4, 16-10 Weld Central in the 7th. And Lefevre is really pitching well here of late. She struck out 3 in a row, 6 in the game. Hasn't walked a hitter in a while. The pitch, that one bounces away. 1 ball and 1 strike. She's got to be getting tired, approaching 150 pitches. 1-1. Six, 7, and 8 hitters in the 7th inning. And the offering swung on, popped up down the left field line, long run, and it's going to drop foul. What a dive out there by Brisa. Man, she laid out. That is called effort with a capital E. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to Leah Ruppel. Ludgate lays down the sign. And the offering. Changeup bounces to the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I cannot stress enough that only 5 of the 16 runs have been earned. That's it. 11 unearned runs scored by Weld Central. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Awaiting is Ruppel. And the pitch. Swung on line off the glove of Lefevre. She recovers. Underhands to first for the out. What a play again by Lefevre. Avery Lefevre with reflexes of a cat. That was awesome. Man, oh man, that was hit hard. Here is Jordan Cifuentes. 2 for 4, singled, lined out. Reached on an error and singled again. The pitch. In the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Brisa Aguirre Garcia to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Yeah, she really needed a hit in the 6th inning for Brush to, in my mind, have a much better shot. The offering. That's a little bit high. Yeah, strike, top of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. On the 153rd pitch unofficially from Lefevre. And this looks strong here in the recent going. And the offering. 2-1. Again, it bounced to the plate. Weld Central with 5 runs in the first, 1 in the 2nd inning, 2 in the 3rd, 6 in the 4th, and single runs in the 5th and 6th. 2-1. Swung on and grounded, for a base hit right up the middle. Lefevre nearly had it. 3rd hit of the game for Cifuentes. Here's Tessa Hebert. 1 for 4, a bunt single. Then on base on an error, a fielder's choice and a ground out. We'll have a courtesy runner for Weld Central. Let's see who that is over. It looks like it's going to be Dalen Bertram. That's who we're looking at, Dalen Bertram. Will be running for Weld Central at first. Lefevre with a pitch. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Yeah, they're mistaking that pitch for a rise ball, and that's a sinker instead. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Hebert awaits. Changeup is grounded slowly, foul down the 3rd base side. Again, 66 balls sounds like a lot for Lefevre, but 91 strikes. That's a lot of strikes. That's a lot of opportunities for your defense and for the hitters, of course. 0-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss and a rise ball well above the letters. Strikeout number 7 for Avery Lefevre, 2 down. It'll bring up Jaden Cifuentes. She had a 2-run single in her first plate appearance, 1 for 3 overall. And Lefevre delivers. Changeup is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. We'll keep it right here for the Advanced Agri Solutions post-game show once we get through the bottom of the 7th. Maybe the Bee Diggers will score 7 runs and win this thing. And they got to hold Weld Central now. 1 ball and no strikes. The offering, that is on the outside corner for a strike. And the count levels at 1-1. Here to Jaden Cifuentes. At first is Bertram. Lefevre to the plate. Swung on and grounded towards left field for a base hit. Ball is misplayed out in left field by Castillo, but she recovers. Second hit of the game for Cifuentes, keeping the inning going for Allison Landers, who is 1 for 4. She's walked, grounded a second, a fielder's choice, a single, and then another ground out. This will be the 6th plate appearance. The pitch bounces in. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, let me go back to last year because that felt like that was a 2.5-hour game as well. I've been trying to look for that result. 1 ball, no strikes. And the offering. That's low, 2-0. The Brush Weld Central game last year lasted 2 hours and 3 minutes. Bee Diggers won 12-11. This is going to go longer than that. Swing and a miss. 2-1. At second is Bertram. Cifuentes at second. Lefevre looks in. Getting the sign. And the pitch. Upstairs, 3-1. Bailey Park is on deck. Three and one here for Allison Landers. And the offering. And that one bounces in. And the bases are loaded. Well, this is a big hitter for Brush. You got to get Bailey Park out. She's 1 for 4. Had a base hit in her last at bat. Huge hitter to retire here for Lefevre. And she knows it right here. Get her out. There's somewhat of a shot. Down by 6 going into the bottom of the 7th. And the offering. Swung on and grounded a short. Aguirre Garcia tosses to third and for the force. Oh, man. Oh, Lambert had her foot on the bag just in time. A 5-6 fielder's choice. And for the first time in the game, Weld Central is kept off the board. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Weld Central 16, Brush 10 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Brisa Aguirre Garcia is the hitter. She's going to have to bat twice in this inning for the Bee Diggers to win this game. And she has been unstoppable. A walk, a 2-run homer, a walk, and a base hit. On base 4 times in the game. But she cannot do it by herself here in the 7th. Again, Cifuentes looking for the save, trying to protect the lead. that Anastasia Hernandez had to begin the game. The pitch swung on and lifted foul, and had a play off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. The closest brush has been is 8-5. Well, after the opening half inning. And the offering, and that bounces to the dish. 1 ball and 1 strike. We've said that a lot. Bouncing to the plate, balls into the dirt. It's been that type of game. Barisa waits. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the offering swung on. That ball is grounded to second and off the glove of the second baseman. That's going to be a miscue. Misplayed over there by Ali Weber. And Aguirre Garcia reaches. 5th time on base, but that one goes against her average. Alicia Hernandez had a bases clearing double in her last at bat, 1 for 4. But that's it. Put the ball on the ground. The pitch swung on and lifted to right field. That's got some carry to it, way back, and it's over the head of Tessa Hebert. Aguirre Garcia to third. She'll stay right there. 2nd double in as many at bats for Alicia Hernandez. And the Beat Diggers trying to mount a rally in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Brianna Ludgate will now hit. She singled her last time up. Again, last year the Beat Diggers were dead in the water against Weld Central. In that game, as that is to the screen, yeah, you don't need to score until that ball's hit. Last year, Brush was down 9-3. They scored 6 in the 7th and 3 in the 8th and won 12-11. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and driven foul down the left side. Good swing by Ludgate. Count is at 1-1. And a very good hitter, Tegan Haluska, hits next. The pitch, and that is a little bit high with a changeup, 2-1. Man, this has got to be a meatball right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike from Jordan Cifuentes. The pitch swung on, pop foul, and out of play, off to the left. It is 2-2. An error and a double have the Beat Diggers with 2 runners in scoring position. Down 16-10 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And is that going to be a 3? That should be 3 balls. She started a pitch, and yeah, that's going to be a ball awarded to Ludgate. Cifuentes, 2nd time in the game, she started to stride and did not pitch. Now it's 3-2. Ball never left her hand. The offering, and that one's in the dirt. It's a walk, and the bases are loaded for Tegan Haluska. Well, can the Beat Diggers pull this off? We might have a 3rd pitcher. We might have another pitcher. The worst way to begin an inning defensively is via the walk or the error, and the latter happened in this frame. Yeah, if you can get to Lefevre, you've got a shot. It will not be a pretty win if Brush can pull it off. It's not going to be a pretty win for either team. We are nearing the 2.5-hour mark. A ground out in her first at bat by Haluska, then a double, a 2-run single, and a pop out. She's driven in 3 runs, the left-handed hitter. Cifuentes will stay inside the circle. Brisa, Alicia, and Brianna on the base paths. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the left. No balls and 1 strike. The tying run is in the hole. Haluska awaits. Swung on line for a base hit into left field. Brisa scores. Hernandez around third. The throw is to third base, and she slides in safely. It's a 2-run single by Haluska. She's got 5 RBIs in the game. Weld Central 16, Brush 12. We are not done. Far from it. Here is Castillo. Popped out, singled, hit by a pitch, and popped out again, 1 for 3. All you need is one of the next 3 on base. That would guarantee an at-bat by Lefevre. Swung on and grounded, foul down the third base side. And again, the frustrating part for Brush is that they have as many hits as Weld Central, and both teams have stranded 10, but Weld Central's played much better defense, only 4 errors to 8 for Brush. The pitch, up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, no doubt that Holuska's been the player of the game for the Bee-Diggers along with Brisa. Swung on, lined. That's a base hit into right field. Is that going to score the runner from second? Around third is Ludgate. She's in. Throw towards third base. And now 2 runners in scoring position again. That'll be scored a double on that base hit to right field as Castillo was running out of the box. And now it's 16-13. Holy mahungus. Oh, here is Angelique Schrum. And the tying run is now at the plate. Well, we're going to have a fresh pitcher, it looks like. Hernandez, well, not a fresh pitcher. She's coming right back in. She began the game in the circle. She's going to be back in the circle. And unless the Bee-Diggers make a base running mistake, Lefevre will hit in this inning. In the bottom of the 7th, an error started the rally. And now Brush has picked up back-to-back base hits. I might have missed one of the backs there. Oh, they also got a walk in there. That's right. They got consecutive hits. There was a walk in there as well. 3 hits in the inning and a walk. And it's 16-13 with Angelique Schrum, who has singled, walked, grounded into a fielder's choice, and walked again. So on base 3 times inside the batter's box. Weld Central playing the infield at normal depth. The pitch. Swung on and grounded to the circle. Caught between second and third. The throw to third, the slide, and out at third base is Holuska. Yeah, she was out at third. First and second now with 1 out at fielder's choice is going to go 1-5. Let's see, there might have been some debate, but she was called out, so I'm not sure why she's standing at third. Tom Odell's keeping her over there, but, I mean, you can try to claim interference, but that's not going to be held up. One down. Here is Caitlin Johnson. Tying run is still at the plate. The pitch, low, 1 ball and no strikes. The Bee-Diggers have cut the lead in half in the bottom of the 7th inning. It was 16-10, now it's 16-13. And the offering, and that's down and in, 2-0. Boy, you got to be taking here. You've got to be taking here. Earlier, they should have been taken and didn't. You have got to be taking here. Let's see, 2-0 pitch. Swung on and grounded to second. There's a flip to second for 1. No throw to first. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Swinging at a 2-0, but that, again, that's the instruction. 2 down. Lefevre is 2 for 4. If she goes deep, she ties the game. We're going to have a courtesy runner at first. Yeah, that is 2 innings in a row. You had a hitter swing at a 2-0 pitch and result in an out when you're generating a rally, and that's going to cost you a chance at winning. And those are just the numbers right there. Simply the numbers. So Lefevre will now bat for Brush. First and third, 2 down. In the bottom of the 7th inning with Weld Central leading 16-13. Aboard on an air, hit by pitch, singled again, and lined out. She was robbed of a base hit by Bailey Park in her last plate appearance. So here we go with Lefevre. And the pitch. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. Courtesy runner at first is Molly Wolf. Yeah, it's got to be something she loves. She can tie the game with a big fly. Swung on and lifted right side. That's going to drop for a base hit. Throw to first is going to be late. Wolf got a late jump, even though there are 2 down. She's at second base. The run scores. It's 16-14. But now you've got Reese Lambert up there, very capable, but she is 0 for 5. Oh, man, this is what great games are made of. You struggle the whole game, and then Reese can come through right here. 0 for 5. And the pitch. Swung on and popped up down the right field line to her left. Foul ball. Foul ball as Weber gave chase. Got to bring that down a little bit. That was up in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. The tying run is Lefevre with tons of speed at first base. Yeah, they got to send Wolf back to second. She was standing at third, but on a foul ball, you got to go back. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded foul. Down to her final strike is Reese Lambert. It's 0-2. The Bee Diggers are as close as they've been the entire game. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss. Lambert strikes out for the 3rd time in the game. And Weld Central wins a marathon 16-14. Time for the Bee Digger post-game show, which is brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Get a full plan of seed, food, and water for your field. Now is the time to get your planning for next year's growing season going. Call Dusty or Roxy 970-571-2024. Advanced Agri Solutions. 16 runs on 12 hits, 4 errors, 10 left on base for Weld Central. 14 runs, 14 hits, 8 errors, 12 left on base for Brush. The winning pitcher, Anastasia Hernandez. And the loss went to Avery Lefevre. Time of the game, 2 hours and 35 minutes. Wow, what a game. Weld Central scored 5 runs in the first inning as the Bee Diggers made a bevy of errors. Brush would come back in the bottom of the first as Alicia Hernandez drove in a run to make it 5-1. Weld Central, though, was able to extend the lead. Anastasia Hernandez with an RBI single, making it 6-1. And then it became 8-1 when the Bee Diggers executed another miscue, unfortunately. However, back came Brush, a 2-run homer by Brisa Aguirre Garcia in the bottom of the 3rd inning to make it 8-3. Tegan Haluska with a run-scoring double. Karim Castillo with an RBI single back in the game at 8-5. In the 4th inning, though, again, a Brush miscue. Then Leah Rupel reached in an error as well to make it 10-5. Tessa Hebert with a fielder's choice, driving in a run 11-5. And then an RBI single from Allison Landers. It was 12-5. By the time that half inning was over, it was 14-5. But the Bee Diggers again would not go away in this game, as in the bottom of the 4th inning, Haluska with a 2-run single made it 14-7. It was 16-7, or 15-7, I should say, when Cifuentes came through with a run-scoring single. And then in the bottom of the 5th inning, Alicia Hernandez cleared the bases with a double. It was 15-10. We go into the bottom of the 6th at 16-10 when, man, Brush really could have generated more of a rally. They scored 3 runs, but I thought they should have had more in that frame. Haluska with a 2-run single. She drove in 5 runs in the game. Castillo with an RBI double made it 16-13. And actually, that was in the bottom of the 7th. They didn't score in the 6th inning. And then Lefevre's RBI single made it 16-14, but unfortunately, they would fall short. Weld Central moves to 6-4. The Bee Diggers drop to 2-3. And next up for Brush, they'll be on the road on Thursday when they take on Strasburg. My voice starting to go a little bit, but after a 2-hour and 35-minute game, I should hang in a little bit better than that. So the Bee Diggers come up short tonight at home against the Weld Central Rebels. I'm John Beltran. Have a great night and God bless. The final score from Jocelyn Field in Brush: Weld Central 16, Brush 14 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.